Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name's Danielle and I like to do content related to autism, ASD, and today a little bit we're going to touch about epilepsy. So I'm excited to do this one. I decided to talk today about 12 unseen or hidden autism traits in girls. So let's jump right into this one today. I'm sure you guys can see I do have a black eye. Let's see if we can get a good shot. Here we go. We'll talk about this later on in the video. It does kind of relate to the topic today. So like, subscribe, stay tuned, see what's going on in my life. So let's jump right into this. So number one is unusual sleep patterns. So this one was big for me when I was a little girl. I am actually the oldest of 6 girls, and it was always chaotic and noisy, and there's always something going on in my house growing up when I was a little girl. So unusual sleep patterns. One of my favorite times to be awake is in the middle of the night. That's when most everybody's asleep, and it's the quietest for me in my environment. This is the time I liked to, it was my me time. All my sisters were asleep. My parents were usually asleep in the middle of the night. Sometimes my dad was up watching TV. But this one was a big one. Unusual sleep patterns. Another thing that kind of goes along with unusual sleep patterns is naps. I love naps. And when I say nap, I don't mean like a little tiny 20-minute power nap. No, I'm talking like 3 to 4 hour naps. That's a nap to me. That recharges me. I look forward to my naps. So poor, or my next one is poor or unusual posture. So this one definitely affected me growing up. When I would go to school, the other girls would make fun of the way I walk. And it really did a lot to my self-esteem. It made me want to always be in the back of the line. In PE, I never wanted to play sports because the girls would just kind of laugh at me, my stride, the way I walked. It was very unusual and different, and I was very aware of this. When I would go home and tell my mom, hey, Mom, I don't walk like the other girls. My posture's really bad. She wasn't very supportive. She actually said things to me like, well, stop slouching. Or, well, maybe if you just walked right, they wouldn't make fun of you. Well, obviously, if people walked right, they wouldn't make fun of me. So I would try and practice how to walk right. But this ended up really hurting my posture and my back. And when I got to high school, just the backpack straps, they were never really even. And every year that went on, they would get more awkward. And it would hurt my back really, really bad. And I remember coming home one time and I told my mom, I was like, Mom, my back hurts. My backpack's too heavy. The straps are rubbing. Why do my clothes not fit right? Everything's starting to turn. Everything's itchy. It's making me like tired and angry. And my mom dug her fingers into my back and just said, just stand up straight. I'm going to get you a back brace. And it hurt my feelings so bad. And I never complained about my back hurting to my mom ever again. I just learned to mask really well around her, which was very sad that I had to end up learning that at a very young age. Growing up, I actually learned that I have scoliosis. So this played a big role in why my posture was so bad. My mom never took me to get an x-ray of my back. It would have been a very simple fix. Instead, she just wanted to tell me that I constantly was slouching and it was my own fault for having poor posture. All right, let's get to number 3, animals. I know girls like animals and a lot of girls like horses, but I feel like this is a unusual or a hidden autistic trait in girls because most of the time it becomes our special interest. This is very true, especially for me. I love animals. My favorite are reptiles. I absolutely love reptiles. So I have a ball python snake. Her name is Petey, and I have had her for, how old is she? She's 15. I've had her for 15 years now. I absolutely love her. I can pretty much tell you a useless fact about any animal that you want. It's been my special interest and a talent of mine for as long as I can remember. So, yeah. Animals, that's a big one for uniqueness. Let's go to another trait. So number 4 would be routines. I like routines. I like to know what's coming. I like to know that A, B, C, and D are going to happen in this order. I know the outcome. It's very, very important to me in routines is to know my outcome. If the routine is changed in any way and I wasn't told that or I didn't know that, I'm going to have a meltdown. Most likely I'm going to have a meltdown. That's how it goes. Or I'm unintentionally going to make the trip miserable for everybody because the routine's changed. That's not what was on the agenda, and now things are messed up for me. It's an accident. I don't mean to be like this, but I totally am. So let's go another one, number 5, empathy. I feel like I am sorry, that's totally slaughtering those words, over empathetic. And what this means is I feel like I care too much. I really, when I find somebody I like and I notice that they're struggling in something, their feelings become my feelings. And this isn't really the best habit to form. And it could really be troublesome to both individuals if you become attached to somebody and that feeling isn't wanted both ways, reciprocated. This can become bad, especially when making friends. Sometimes I latch on too quick and it's overwhelming for that other individual. So let's see. Let's go to my next one. Extremely shy. So some girls can be extremely shy, and sometimes this is cute or that's just how they are. No, I was extremely shy because I didn't know how to interact with other girls. It was very hard for me to watch them interact, and they like to touch each other. I am not even really going to touch on this a whole bunch because this one kind of confuses me altogether. It kind of actually blends in with this next one, which is relying on other girls to guide them or speak for them. This one I relied heavy on in school. Girls tend to make little cliques, and I kind of floated from all the little cliques. I was included, but I never stayed in one group. I got very bored very quick because each one of those groups just liked their own thing, and that wasn't me. I could group hop, which was great. But I had this one girlfriend, and I really, really relied on her, probably way too much, to speak for me, to help me understand why the other girls were doing their body language the way they were doing it. And I feel like over the years, I just relied too much on her to help me understand communication and just the way to interact with other girls. Wasn't healthy. So this next one, I kind of want to touch base on girls. They have normal development, but delayed adolescence. And what this means to me is that growing up, I hit all the milestones that all the other girls do. Boys, when they're on the autism scale, tend to not reach these milestones the same as we do. They seem to meet them, but they're delayed. Like what I mean by is speech. I didn't have delayed speech. I was normal for speech. But when we got to adolescence, I seemed to really, really struggle. I never seemed to grow out of collecting things, and I was never really interested in the boys. And it seemed that the girls, once we got into high school, really tended to focus more on the relationship aspect. I never really caught on to any of that stuff. I still find it really hard to understand relationship dynamics, and yeah. So let's jump right on to the next one. So the next one is not wanting to play cooperatively. I really struggled with this. So being the oldest, my mom constantly had me babysit or just watch my siblings. I'm not really sure why. I don't think that that's right. I never think as a parent your older children are not built-in babysitters. They're just not. Don't do that to your kids. It's not fair to anybody. And I had a hard time with this because I don't understand play. Play to me is sorting things, lining things up. I used to have Hot Wheel cars and Beanie Babies, and both of those you can put into categories. I mean, there's trucks, there's cars, there's Jeeps, there's vans, there's all sorts of things. And then you get into colors, you get into graphics. I mean, it's endless on the way you can sort things, put them into different groups. And then same with Beanie Babies. I love animals. My thing was birds. I loved bird Beanie Babies. So not only do you have Beanie Babies, you have different animals, and then, yeah, just like me. And I didn't understand the concept of play. A lot of girls will reenact things like, oh, you do this, and then I'll do this, and then I'll do that. And I don't understand that. And it caused me to Get into little arguments with my sisters, which ended up making my mom really upset. Sorry about that, Mom. I didn't realize that their version of play was just a little bit different than mine. So let's go to this next one. The next one I'm going to talk about is depression and anxiety. So girls on the spectrum are 4 times more likely than a neurotypical person to be depressed or have anxiety. And a lot of this, I think, corresponds with a lot of these other things and being undiagnosed. We don't understand why we're not fitting in, and this can cause us to be extremely depressed. It can cause us to have anxiety when we go out into public, not knowing if we're going to say the right thing. We rehearse a lot in our heads, like we'll play a script, and if we go off of that script, it really throws us off, which can cause us to go into meltdowns, and this just causes anxiety. And then after that, we go into a depression state. 40% of people that are autistic, women in particular, have depression and anxiety, and that's okay. It just kind of comes with the territory. It's manageable. It's just part of who we are, and we just need this proper support. So my last, number 12, is kind of related to my black eye, is seizures. A lot of women, more women than men, and boys can still be epileptic or have a seizure disorder. That's kind of common for being on the spectrum. I know for me, back in 2013, 2014, I really started having seizures, grand mal seizures, and I couldn't understand what they were coming from. They were stress-induced. 25% of people that have autism also have or suffer some sort of seizure disorder, including epilepsy. And that's how I ended up with my lovely black eye here. All the stress. I had a seizure when I was in the kitchen. I got really, really, really hot, and which is one of my auras. I know I'm going to have a seizure. I tried to make it to the couch, and I couldn't make it to the couch in time. I passed out, and I hit the corner of my face. I hit it right here on this bone, on the corner of the coffee table, and it just gave me a black eye. It really sucks. I really didn't want to actually do this video because of my black eye. I just didn't want to do it. I didn't want anyone thinking anything bad, but I figured, hey, this is why I'm doing this YouTube video, the YouTube channel. I want to educate people. This is real. This is who I am, and unfortunately, I have a black eye. That's just who I am today. It comes with the territory. So again, if you like my content, subscribe, let me know I'm doing a good job. I always like the feedback. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. Talk to you guys later. Bye.